So, the 2026 World Cup, it's going to be the biggest one in history. We're talking 48 teams battling it out across all of North America. Now, the official draw is still a long way off. But you know what? The guessing games have already started. So, what could those groups actually end up looking like? Well, we're going to break down one really fascinating prediction right now.
You know, it's the question every single football fan is asking themselves. Who's going to get a nice, easy path, and who is going to end up in that dreaded group of death? Let's dive into one predictive model and just see what the future might have in store for us.
Okay, here it is, the big reveal, the full predicted draw, all 12 groups from A all the way to L. Go on, take a second and find your team. You can already see some absolutely wild possibilities here. I mean, just look at Group H with Spain and Uruguay. Or how about Group A pitting the host, Mexico, against Germany? This is the whole shebang, but to really get it, we've got to rewind and figure out how we even got these 48 teams to begin with. Right, so how in the world this prediction land on these exact 48 teams? Well, it really all comes down to those last few qualification spots. The entire group structure you just saw, it all hinges on how a few absolutely crucial playoff matches could go. So let's start right there with the playoffs. See, this whole prediction is built on one key assumption, that those 6 remaining spots are going to be filled by the teams that are most favored to win, which would create the strongest possible lineup for the tournament. Let's kick things off in Europe. This model basically predicts that the usual suspects, the traditional powerhouses, are going to pull through. It's got Italy avoiding another absolutely shocking World Cup absence, and it has Denmark, Ukraine, and Turkey booking their tickets to North America too. Okay, so what about those last 2 spots? Well, for those, the prediction is favoring DR Congo and Bolivia to come out on top of those really tough intercontinental playoff paths. And that right there would round out our 48-team roster. And just like that, with those 6 teams added into the mix, our 48-team roster is complete. So now we can finally go back to that main draw and really properly break down what some of these groups would actually mean for the tournament. Okay, this is where the real fun begins. Let's zoom in on 4 of the most intriguing groups from this hypothetical draw and see what kind of stories they might tell. First up, Group B. And wow, talk about a brutal welcome for one of the host nations, Canada. They're predicted to land in a group with the tactical, disciplined Swiss, the 2022 hosts and reigning Asian champions Qatar, and, oh yeah, European giants Italy. That is a massive, massive test for the Canadians on home soil. The primary host, the United States, doesn't get an easy ride here either. They're drawn with a notoriously physical team from Paraguay, a relentlessly hardworking Australian side, and a really powerful squad from Turkey. You're not getting any easy points in that group. Every single match would be an absolute fight. Now this is what everyone looks for in a draw, isn't it? A true group of death. Just imagine this for a second. France, one of the top favorites, having to deal with the power of African champion Senegal, the sheer attacking firepower of Norway, and the high-altitude toughness of Bolivia. That group would be nothing short of pure drama. And what about England's path? Well, this prediction sets up a rematch with their tournament nemesis, Croatia. It also throws in a tricky challenge from Panama and a big clash with the African powerhouse Ghana. Yeah, there are absolutely 0 guaranteed wins in that group. Okay, so after all that incredible speculation, it's probably time for a little reality check. It's really important to remember exactly what a prediction like this is, and, maybe more importantly, what it isn't. So here's the crucial point. As the source material itself says, this lineup is completely hypothetical. It's built on one very specific assumption about how the playoffs will go. But the beautiful, chaotic reality of football is that upsets happen. They always do. This timeline really puts it all into perspective. Right now, we're in the fun part, prediction and speculation. But the real answers, they'll start coming in March 2026, when those playoffs are decided, all leading up to the main event that summer. Which really just leaves us with one final question for you. Looking at this entire potential draw, which of these groups do you think would deliver the most unforgettable edge-of-your-seat moments? It's a pretty fascinating glimpse into what could be the greatest World Cup we've ever seen.